While our victory at Zarush was a glorious one, and shall be remembered for generations to come, the Cardassian rebellion shows no signs of being contained. In fact, the reverse is proving to be true. As word of the rebellion continues to spread, several Cardassian worlds that have been relatively peaceful have risen up and slaughtered our garrisons, and I fear more may follow. Our agents have also uncovered the name of the leader behind this rebellion, Gul Kentar. We know little of him, but he appears to command the respect and obedience of the Cardassian military. This makes him a dangerous enemy. We must make the Cardassians understand that any attempt to drive us out of the Union is doomed to fail. It is for this reason I am dispatching a strike force under the command of Captain Bekta to the Daltech system. His orders are to reinforce and defend our starbase there. It has been under constant pressure since the rebellion began, and is suffering shortages of both men and equipment. Once it is secure, I intend to make an example of one of the Cardassian planets in the system. Kestia is a well-known, high-population world with an advanced industrial manufacturing base. If it succeeds in joining the rebellion, it may well entice other planets to join also. This is unacceptable. For this reason, I am instructing Captain Bekta to lay waste to Kestia as a warning to Gul Kentar and any Cardassians contemplating joining the rebellion. While this may appear ruthless and uncivilized to our Federation allies, they are not here to intervene. The Cardassians brought this war upon themselves, and now they shall feel the full wrath of the Empire.
Hi guys, and welcome back to Star Trek Armada. And do you like murdering civilians indiscriminately? Then welcome to the Klingon Empire. This is the second mission of the Klingons, and our whole idea is basically just to burn the life off pretty much every planet in this system. We're given a pretty weird startup location here. The temptation is to dive straight for the current starbase that we have, but it's essentially giving us a free expansion by giving us a planet and a dilithium moon here, so I intend to take full advantage of those and just build up straight away. The starbase will survive on its own to a certain degree. I did notice in the comments for the number 11 video, the mission 11 video, that Martok in this game seems to be on the side of hating the Federation. I'm not too sure that's 100% true. I think he's just I think he just considers the Federation naive, which, when considering what's happened in this game so far, how can you argue with him? At the moment I'd say the Federation's run by a load of blithering idiots more than anything else. Still, we've got the dilithium refinery up and running now, so I'm going to plonk a starbase down to number 1, increase our crew rate that we have here, and there is a Latinum nebula near here, and it just provides that little bit of defence because I do intend to move my fleet away from here somewhat. I could also rename this mission Let's Fail at Star Trek Armada 2 because I make a complete hash of this mission. So you should hopefully enjoy that with me. You'll notice that there is a gravity well to the right of the planet, and sorry, to the right of the starbase, and that is caused by this Class L planet. So stick another metal refinery down here, and I'm just going to wait for this starbase to build while the Cardassians are just attacking with a pretty rubbish force. The Kral class battleship that I have is going to easily be able to take on most of the stuff that they send in. I don't think they're going to send anything too nasty at this base. But from what they were saying is that, going back to my original point, that Martok probably thinks the Federation's run by blithering idiots, and he's right at the time. You've also got to remember that at the end of Deep Space Nine, he was one of his lines was that humans don't realise the meaning of victory. So, you know, it's not like he's not an atypical Klingon, shall we say. he appreciates the value of a decent war, and now he's going to get one. Considering he's got no one holding his leash this time like he did during the Dominion War, it's more than likely he will just go completely nuts if necessary. He was willing to go up against 10-to-1 odds and various other things in the Dominion War, so it's not as if he's a pacifist. I am recrewing the star bases, especially the first one, just due to the fact that it needs that recrewing. Because, alright, Klingons get the Berserker mode when they're low on crew, but they also don't repair anything, so considering the station was damaged, I definitely needed it to be repaired. Unfortunately, the Cardassians are trying to take over this planet, so I'm going to get my ships down here now that the base up here is quite nicely built. I should send a construction ship down as well, so that I can double up on
Our base is under attack.
resource building. 2 Leggett class cruisers causing misery as they usually do.
Our new battle station is complete.
And I don't know if I'm going to get this construction ship in time. At the moment I just want to get these Leggett class ships so that they stop shooting my metal mine, and a few more have popped up. Gulvistan class ship, I believe that is, with its cloaking device. One disadvantage of the cloaking device is that while it does get you first strike capability, you also lose the advantage of having your shields. So if you just decloak and fire with one Gulvistan class ship, you're not going to last very long. I'm going to build a trading station up here because we already have the expansion down, and this is going to be a really nice way to get some dilithium and latinum going, and that's going to be one of the games. I always like to establish a decent economy, and yeah, this is really not good at all. The Cardassians are attacking in force, and whoa, where did they come from? Okay, get out of here.
Battle has begun.
Yeah, this really isn't going well at all. Fortunately, the Cardassians are a bit stupid and they're going to run a lot of their ships into my
Our
starbase.
base is under attack.
We have constructed a trading station. Ferengi trading ships should start arriving at our station soon.
That's good then, we're getting our asses kicked completely, but we're going to have Ferengi at our stations giving us some money. That's all good. Fortunately, the Cardassians look like they're just committing suicide at the moment, so that's not really very intelligent of them. Ah, Leggett class ship. But anyway, going back to the point on Martok I was mentioning, I think that he shares the idea that Kern had, that the Federation's essentially a sleeping tiger and you really don't want to wake it up. The main fact being that if you think about it, the Federation went from Excelsior class, Ambassador class ships, and really being afraid to manufacture Galaxy class ships because they might be seen as provocative, to having fleets with hundreds of ships in, and ships as advanced as Sovereign class ships and Defiant class ships, and all in response to the fact that essentially someone threatened them, that someone being the Borg. So really the whole motto of the whole thing is don't force the Federation's back against the wall, because it generally costs you. I'm still trying to get rid of all the Cardassians on this planet. They're down to about 10 at this point. So I'm going to lose my Vulture class cruiser just because these Leggett class ships are doing too much. Again, little swarm of not very powerful ships, so I'm just lowering them back to my starbase.
Our new battle station
And
is
Leggett class ships being irritating again. And at this point I just decide to just try and distract them a little bit with some birds of prey.
a battle has begun.
A bird of prey is not an overly powerful ship by any means, but it will pull some heat off my K-Ral class ship. and I could do with that happening at this point, especially if all these ships decide to concentrate fire on it.
We have a new ship for the fleet.
Boy, did my bird of prey not last long against that. One salvo was good enough. But looks like we're going to survive this. Oh, hang on a second.
The day will be ours.
You always have to watch out with the, especially with the AI when it uses Cardassian ships. It will occasionally use that tactic where it sends what looks like a weak force in, and in fact it's a very strong force under cloak. But we have just been given 3 new Natevar class ships, so we're going to put these to good use. These are the top tier Klingon ships. You'll remember them from Armada 1, first introduced in Way of the Warrior in Deep Space Nine. They are a solely attack-minded vessel. Their special weapons, the ion cannon, you won't see it in this video, but you will see it at some point. And as far as attacking stationary structures and large targets, Klingons are just far above pretty much any other race that isn't the Borg, really. I suppose the Borg can attack them better, but that's just because Borg ships are so overwhelming at top levels. I suppose you've already seen the ion cannon because Martok's Natevar has it by default rather than researching it, but just imagine sort of a squadron full of Natevars all firing ion cannons that you saw from the last mission. They pretty much lay waste to just about anything. Anyway, the Cardassian attacks are beginning to wind down at this point. I'm trying to stop my birds of prey from committing suicide, and I'm finally going to be able to burn the life off this planet and colonise it myself. I could beam down, as I've been told about recently, but... And in fact, in this situation, it would be a lot better to beam down, because for some reason, I still haven't built a research centre. I guess it was all the kerfuffle that was going on up here made me not do it, but I really do need a research centre, not just because it allows me to build Vulture class attack cruisers, but because it will allow me to research the tachyon detection grid, which I desperately need to stop all these stupid cloaking things from the Cardassians. Anyway, I found a Latinum Nebula, and it looks like I'm going to end up losing this metal mining area, but it's done me proud for the moment. I think once the shield's on that, yeah, the Legate's beginning to run now. Fires off a couple of shots just to keep irritating me. I'm just going to buy some Latinum because I need that to build the research facility.
We have a new ship for the fleet.
I'm going to build it up at the top. Let's get the birds of prey to run some harassment. And yeah, I'm really concentrating a bit too much on the fight and not enough on building up my infrastructure.
To build.
It's better. Ugh, lost my disruptor cannon. I hate Legate class ships. And yeah, let's get the research facility down way too late. And wow, I've been swarmed up here, and it looks like my ships aren't going to last.
Station construction has begun.
Yeah, that Legate class ship is just absolutely destroying me from outside of weapons range. This is why I hate Legate class ships. They are really good. And yeah, I'm gonna lose this area, I think.
Our base is under attack.
Not great. But while the Cardassians are distracted up there, I'm going to build another trade station up here, and I'm going to get the I'm going to get my trade routes going. Basically, the Cardassians will pick off any outlying things. I've expanded a bit too fast to that centre region before I could defend it, but this level of ships just isn't going to punch through 4 battleships. Unless the Cardassians send about 25 ships at once, they're not going to punch through this. And probably more, because they've got to punch through those battle cruisers, and if anything looks a bit dicey, I'm going to do this and just retreat back to the starbase, and that's just going to destroy pretty much anything the Cardassians send, and they're being really foolish here. They should just retreat, because there's no way that they can assault a position this well defended. Let's destroy yet another colony ship before they get to colonise that planet. And now I get to put my trade route up. And finally, 16 minutes into this video, and probably at least 20 into the mission, I get to put down this facility, which should have been down ages ago.
Give us the order, finally.
We have achieved a mission objective.
Still can't be helped, and now we've got the tachyon detection grid, so I can start building some sensor platforms, which is going to allow me to see where the Cardassians are. And this is the secondary thing that we have to do to make sure that we're up and running. We have to research gravitic mines. I'm not really sure why, it just seems a little bit pointless. I'm not going to use birds of prey in this mission, except maybe for a little bit of scouting, but that's about it. And one thing that the computer doesn't do is research tachyon detection grid.
A new battle station is complete.
Immediately.
Our base is under attack. A battle...
We have achieved a mission objective.
Right, so all we have to do now is destroy the remaining Cardassians.
Station construction has begun.
And yeah, they are sending some Leggett class ships in, but they're not going to cause enough damage now. I've got the infrastructure down, I've got my shipyards down, and I've got my research centre, so it's time to start producing Vulture class attack cruisers. And covering this area in sensor platforms is one of the first things I've got to do as well. At least once this metal mining facility is back up and running. Let's make sure my ships are up to speed. I am running a bit short on dilithium, which is a tad worrying. I'll have to use the trading station to trade in some metal, I think, at this point. Although the reason I've called this Let's Fail Star Trek Armada 2, you will see very shortly. Just getting my Vulture class fleet up and running, and that will turn the tide in this battle quite nicely. And as you can see, my cargo ships are now going back and forth, which is great. And I'm just going to sell a ton of metal and buy a ton of dilithium so that I never run out when it comes down to buying Vulture class ships, because that would be really unfortunate doing something like that. And here's the first fleet in action. Oh look, someone's trying to be clever. Whoa, there's quite a few of them over here. And this is what I mean by a lot of firepower. Got to take them down quite quickly, otherwise I will lose that mining station. And wow, they collapsed the shields on one of my Vultures as well. I am not a fan of those ships. Anyway, there we go, a couple of sensor platforms up. And I'm going to expand to the middle here and take this area. Or at least take this area back.
We have a new ship for the fleet.
Oh,
A battle has begun.
yeah, this isn't going to be a particularly tough fight. Especially when the Gulvistan class ship decides not to use its shields. If I can fortify this middle area of the map, it's going to make the rest of the mission a lot easier. And I spied another map here, and that has Cardassians on it, so we're going to have to leave that one for the moment because I'm going to use my battleships later on in the mission to burn the population off the planet.
Ready to build.
I don't quite know what Klingon Honor has to say about burning civilians off a planet, but or reducing planets to molten slag, but I suppose for the good of the Empire, etc., etc. I guess if they just did it in cold blood it'd be seen as dishonourable, but the fact that it's an enemy, maybe that's enough. Anyway, some birds of prey. I'm not using the Klingon scout ship. The reason for that is that it can't cloak, and therefore doesn't have anywhere near the range that the bird of prey does. And wow, these guys don't let up.
A battle has begun.
Go there.
There is no threat here.
And let's set my birds of prey to scout for me.
A new battle station is complete.
I'm going to have to keep my ships around there because they're just... I've not got an effective defence against that. And look what I've found in the middle of the map there, really close to where my starbase is. That'd be a dilithium moon, which I've been hurting for really badly in this mission. Yep, complete 100% failure. But anyway, now it's time to take out my failure on the Cardassians. I'm going to put a dilithium moon here.
Station construction has
You'll
begun.
notice he has been intercepted, but the construction ship's weapons are actually quite... They're not that bad. I quite like the fact that they've got weapons on them. They can defend themselves against the crappiest of Cardassian ships, and it is under attack by one of the crappiest. I think it's a Hideki class, which is about as weak as it gets for Cardassian ships, but once we get this area fortified, then, I mean, to be honest, we can probably take... We can't take what the Cardassians have because 16 Vultures isn't going to punch through a starbase anytime soon, but I think that 32, 35, somewhere around there will probably be enough. I don't think the Cardassians are as well entrenched in this mission as they were in the first mission, where they were pretty severely entrenched, really. But then again, I'm not sure that we were supposed to attack the Cardassians in this mission. In that mission.
We have a new ship for the fleet.
Anyway, we've now got that area up and running, and we've got a really big, we've got a much better view of the map finally. So let's crank out those vultures, and then we will be ready to take on what the Cardassians have for us. Which, as you can see by looking at the map that our cloaked ships have revealed, is not much really. And we're about to see my most blatant failure of this game, but
We have a new ship for the fleet.
at least I think we are. Yep. As you can see, I've left my construction ship totally undefended, and if you look towards the middle of the map, you will see my vultures limping to try and get there in time, but they're not going to. And while I watch like a lemon instead of cancelling construction, I lose 2,000 dilithium and metal. So, yep, oh yeah, turning up right on time, aren't you? Fantastic, well done. Don't know why I pay you people sometimes. Oh, wait a minute, why is someone paying me? I let that happen. Oh well, never mind. Obviously weren't paying me enough then. But yeah, the Cardassians don't have much built up here, so this force is going to be more than enough to take it out. So I'm going to let you enjoy the fight with the starbase.
We have a new ship for the fleet. For Kalis! For Kalis! A battle has begun. Ready for battle. A Klingon can die but once.
Well, that obviously wasn't their main base, but it was enough damage to them to stop them producing a shed ton of warships, because there was a shipyard there, so obviously that's going to slow down their production somewhat, and that just allows me to refill my fleet and come in for the kill here. Yeah, it looks like we're in a really good position for this. They've just got an outlying row of phaser turrets we've got to take down, which we're going to lose some ships on, I've no doubt, but at the end of the day the outcome of this fight isn't really in doubt. Especially given the Cardassians can't produce any advanced ships in this level. If they could, it might make things a little bit interesting. But yeah, I think we take out their resource gathering operations and we should be in a decent position just to attack their starbase. At least I think they've still got a starbase.
We have a new ship for the fleet.
Yeah, we're under quite a bit of pressure in this mission early, mainly due to my own incompetence, but we've come through quite nicely and won a nice victory for the Empire.
We have a new ship for the fleet. Ready for battle. A Klingon can die but once. A battle has begun.
Okay, Operation Mop-Up's going to continue. Here we go. Must be another ship. Another
We have a new ship for the fleet.
shipyard nearby.
Ready for battle. We have a new ship for the fleet.
And yeah, warping straight on top of it. So looks like we're almost there. Oh, there's the starbase. So
A Klingon can die but once.
time to watch the fireworks again.
We have a new ship for the fleet. A battle has begun. We have a new ship for the fleet. We have a new ship for the fleet. Ready for battle. To Stovacor! Ready for battle. A Klingon can die but once. Ready for battle.
And with that, the last of the Cardassian forces have been wiped out. So all that remains to do is bomb these perfectly good worlds that we could take over just through sheer military force. We're just going to bomb them back into the Stone Age to set an example to people. And don't know who exactly is going to learn this example, but certainly not the people on the planet, put it that way. But that's one down. I am going to colonise all these worlds as well, it's just that I'm doing that off camera to save a bit of time. And two down. And finally, this high population, very Earth-like world. Yeah, we're going to bomb the hell out of that as well, because we can. And because for the best reason, because Martok told us to. Okay, that's that done, and yes, I know I could transport down, but I'm not going to. I'm going to use a colony ship. In fact, I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to find what's left of the Cardassians, because I missed it earlier. But never mind, this mistake can very easily be rectified, and thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.
Victory! Our warriors have secured this system and beaten the Cardassians soundly. We are well on our way to putting down this rebellion and re-establishing our control over the Union. We have brought glory to the Empire.